Listen, I know. I know. Well, listen, we have to sit there and deal with this. And I'm not the one who wanted to sit there and deal with it directly, but of course, I'm the one that's being called to deal with it directly. And then you say, well, then what does that mean, Sam? Well, so I'm going to have to tell you exactly what I mean. Okay, so are we ready? All right. So we're ready. Now, I've not read this. Okay, so I've not read this at all. I just know that you guys threw this on my desk out of nowhere and said, "Hey, I want you to read this, Sam. This is hot off the press. You've been doing your show, so I haven't been paying attention." And then all of a sudden, this comes across my desk, and then all of a sudden, I now have to sit there and deal with it. I didn't want to have to deal with it. I've been trying not to deal with it this whole show. And then now something comes across my desk because you guys got to sit there and put it across my desk. And now I have to sit there and talk about it. Last thing I want to talk about is this. And then, of course, you guys send me something. So, of course, I have to read it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to read it. I've not read it yet at all. So, this is what we call in the business a live read. I'm going to say that again. In the business, this is what we call a live read, meaning that I've not read anything up until this point about what I'm about to read. So when I read it, and if I read it in a dramatic fashion, the Shakespearean esque way that only a trained media puppet would know how to do. So listen, if I emphasize things wrong, I don't mean anything by it. No copyright strikes. Listen, there's nothing to be copywritten struck about this at all. All I'm doing is reading a statement that was just posted and is hot off the press. Okay, so here we go. I gotta say, it's truly flattering when grown adults and bitter old men who claim they don't watch Viper Island spend hours, days, even weeks of their lives obsessed with talking about a channel that they supposedly don't care about or even like. It's like a symphony of sour grapes out there. There's a simple solution for you. If you don't like something, just don't watch it. But no, instead, we have these folks making all sorts of images and messages about us as if we're the center of their pathetic little universe. Talk about showing the world you have a mental loose screw. I mean, seriously. If you're spending that much time fixated on a stranger you've never met, talked to, or had anything to do with, you might want to get your head checked. Big shout out to all those devoting their time to attack us. We never mention names, and we don't ever need to, because they're always quick to expose themselves. Not the smartest bunch. Thanks to them, social media platforms are on high alert against harassment. Websites might call it copyright infringement. Who knows? Who cares? But they'll boot you if you break their rules. Some people are just too thick headed to understand how this whole thing even works. So if you don't like losing privileges or your own accounts, maybe don't break the rules, and just shut the hell up. And if anyone has an issue with any of this, be sure to let someone know who actually gives a damn. Because, spoiler alert, I sure don't. This is just a bit of fun for us, not a life consuming obsession like it is for some of you people. Meanwhile, I'm here laughing it all off, watching grown ass old men waste what's left of their lives hating on us while we are enjoying our weekend. We will never care what any of them have to say. And That really gets under their skin. They want us gone because people prefer to watch our content instead of theirs. And their fragile little egos can't handle rejection. It must suck to suck. Do you hear that? It must suck to suck. So if you're one of those sad, pathetic souls who so easily get triggered by someone else's success or their opinions that you need to feel the need to harass them online, maybe it's time to log off. Put down your toys. Step outside and get a breath of fresh air. Get a fresh breath air, a breath of fresh air. You know what? And that's just a thought. That is from Liam over at Viper Island. That is that is from Liam over at Viper Island, at Viper Island on Instagram, the Viper Island, the notorious Viper Island channel on YouTube. Now, I will say that I have worked with Liam and Viper Island in the past. I've not directly contacted them directly. Well, I've just done. What was the last time? What was that? Yeah, back in Christmas. The last time I think that we talked to them. There seems to be a bit of an issue with copyright strikes, copyright targeting, the canceling of YouTube. What was it? No, Instagram accounts. And this is a really big deal. Now, of course, people say, well, Sam, what side are you on? Well, it's the same damn side I'm on when it comes to Republicans and Democrats, the blue team and the red team. I don't side with anybody. I root for interesting because it gives me content. But I do stand with potatoes. I do stand with, how could you not stand with French fries? But the interesting thing is that the 3POA podcast hosted by Ryan, we know Ryan Laser Pants. Some things have been going on. There's been a big brouhaha in the toy community. And maybe next week, maybe we'll have one of these gentlemen on the show. Going to try to reach out to both of them because it seems like that things are getting hot. I do believe now, if my memory serves me correctly, that Ryan will be on Retro Blasting. If you're familiar with Retro Blasting, the Retro Blasting YouTube channel, Michael French. Listen, hey, friend of the show. I would say he's a friend of the show. What was that? The CGI soulless detox. Well, like I said, they're just soulless CGI detox. They're not real. Well, listen, Michael's really good with the whole, camera, photography, and listen, he's special effects. I mean, don't get a whip in his hand. Golly, man, make a lion blush. Anyway, so that's tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Ryan from 3POA will be with Michael French on the Retro Blasting channel. Make sure you check it out. I will be there, possibly just eating some popcorn in the chat because I want to see all of this as it continues to go down. A lot of stuff happening. And I do have some inside information, some inside baseball, but I do not want to give any of that to all of you. Want to see how this plays out. I have my own theories of what exactly is going on, but I do want there to be some kind of resolution, right? Because nothing is worse than when we're trying to have a good time on Saturday morning and we're talking about action figures and we're talking about toys and we're talking about all the good things that made Saturday morning great. I believe that's something that we all share and have in common. And it has nothing to do with if you like this person or that person. What I can tell you is that you liked your Saturday mornings, didn't you? And there's about 3 or 4 generations of people that I know that I'm talking to when I say that. So the last thing that I want to do is see any of this hullabaloo when it comes to it. I had somebody ask me the other day, they said, Sam, where did all this start? Where did all this start? And of course, you know what? It was a soldier that asked me that question. They said, Sam, where did all of this start? And of course, I salute the soldier because I support our troops. But I said this all started when Classified came out. That's right. G.I. Joe Classified started all of this. And it was because of what I happened to say on Twitter years ago when I called Target out years ago. So all of this started when Classified came out. I called out Target. I tagged G.I. Joe and Hasbro. They responded to me and it blew up the entire internet on Twitter. This was years ago. People want to understand where the toxicity came from within the toy community. It was because, and I hate to say it, well, maybe I don't hate to say it. The toxicity in the toy community came from G.I. Joe Classified. That's not a hot take. That is the truth. If it wasn't for G.I. Joe Classified, we wouldn't be in any of this situation at the moment. But what do we have? We have G.I. Joe Classified, which has splintered the entire toy community. And the reality is the toy community should be coming together because everybody's 30, 40, 50 years old who had toys in the 80s. And would you just sit there and shut up? Stop crying me a river. Can we all just get along? Like Rodney King. Good grief. Skydro says he just got a huge score at a flea market. See, that's what we should be celebrating. Skydro, where you can save 15% when you're using the code Skydro at extremesets.com. Skydro said he just got a score at the flea market. Skydro, you're there on the chat right now. What did you score at the flea market? Because that's what it should be. And anybody who's going into a Target or a Walmart and they're sitting there and they're filming themselves, would you just stop? Would you stop? Please stop. It's ridiculous. Nobody cares about Target. Nobody cares about Walmart. If I want to go see what the hell's on the Walmart and Target shelves, I'll go to the Walmart and Target down the street. Ridiculous. Nobody cares what's in a Walmart or Target. And if you're buying toys in a Walmart and a Target, it's only 2 aisles over from the bubble blowing lawnmower. Golly, would you just check your life? Good grief. What time is it? It's 11:33 here on the 18th day of May in the year 2024. Have you nominated NewsMan yet? Hashtag nominate NewsMan. Make sure you nominate NewsMan. You have until May 29th to do that for the best morning radio show. There's a link in my profile. Click the link in my profile. Do that. Vote for me for the best morning radio show. I'll figure out exactly maybe what Skydro found at a flea market. I'm going to be back in just a few moments. I'm going to play some sitcom themes. I'm going to recalibrate my own gears. I'm going to be back here at Sam Newsman Live on Instagram. That's the only place. We are broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and X. But like I said, make sure you're following us all over social media. Download the Live 365 app. Search WDCE. That way you can listen to the radio-only segments if you're not here locally. But if you are here locally, you just turn on your radio and you can hear my beautiful puppet voice on WDCE 90.1 FM, broadcasting from the Soggy Wet campus here at the University of Richmond. You're listening to the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning. Mhm. That's not what I wanted.